Damn, son.
Yeah,
You know
it was
what? I
that
don't I
bad.
don't I don't drink as much either. Like I haven't had a drink in like 2 months, 3 months maybe.
Oh, that's
That's because I
good.
started smoking though, and
Ah,
like
Oh, you
that just
did?
kind of like yeah, like the urge to drink is just gone because when you of course when you drink and you wake up you feel shitty, your body feels
Yeah.
shitty.
yeah.
Weed don't do that shit. You stop being
I
high, and you go back to normal, like whatever.
smoking. If I tried to smoke, bro, man, I got anxiety and shit, and that shit just fucked me up.
Hmm.
That's-
Oh yeah, it's not for everybody.
I thought
Yeah.
I was gonna have to go to the ER.
Oh man.
You one of those people calling the police, calling the ER, telling them my heart ain't beating no more. Like
Oh
I'm too
my
man.
heart
high.
stopped beating.
I,
Smoke
I called.
smoky.
I'm too high. I'm too high.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But that shit happened on Thanksgiving one year, and I was like, yeah.
And stuff like that. What do y'all think about some of those tools? Have you had a chance to really use some of them? Have you just been seeing how
I,
how good it's getting? You know what I
I
mean?
I'll
well,
AI's
go
been
ahead,
around,
Mars.
but I
go
mean,
Go
ahead,
ahead,
Jones.
Mars.
Yeah, go ahead.
So
All
I'll start
right,
out. So like
go ahead,
AI on
go ahead.
production, like music. So there's one plugin, Melody Sauce. It's kind of like an AI generated plugin. Don't get me wrong, they have some nice melodies in there, but I feel like sometimes it's soulless a little bit. Like there's no soul to it. Like
Mm-hmm.
it'll get the job done, but there's no soul to it. So I want to say I stay away from that, but like in a pinch, I might use something like that, and knowing that it's not my best work, you know. But yeah, it's crazy. It's yeah, but I just try to stay away from it. But you got to be able to use it. I mean, the world is changing, so you got to know it's there. But apply it to your toolkit in some kind of way if need be. But definitely not a go-to for me. But I'll use it.
I feel like AI as a whole is a little sketchy, man. But when it comes to
Oh,
music, man, like when it comes to art, right? Art is
mm,
like created from the human mind, the human creativity, and the human hand. You know what I'm saying? When you take art away from human beings, I think the world is gonna be a fucking much sadder and darker place. Not just in
oh
music,
yeah.
just like when you take away the art and the creativity, because that's where the soul lives, man. That's how the soul expresses itself. So when you
Mm.
take that away, the whole world is gonna get darker and sadder. So I think we're heading down this way. I know some people like, want to defend it and all that. That's the motherfuckers who don't want to sit behind a piano or a guitar and practice. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And if you don't, that's fine, right? I'm not trying to knock anybody. Everything's not for everybody.
Set the tone. Yeah. Fresh new year, fresh night, yeah. Walk with a bop like I really don't care. I don't care. Blows the shit, scorching I'm lit. In the plain white tee, got immaculate drip. Cut from a different cloth like I'm shopping at Kith.
ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Don't Sleep on the Couch podcast. Like I told y'all in episode 200, we're gonna do more of these producer corners and just nerd out with some of my producer homies. But this time around, I get to do it with some of my producer homies that are friends. You know what I mean? So we'll get right into this episode. It's the nerd out on current gear we're using, just business wise. These guys are a wealth of information. I'm a newbie in the production space, so a lot of my questions will be novice. So if you're like me and you're listening to this podcast for some of these production notes, it'll build. We'll try to do it every other week, twice a month. That's what we're limiting ourselves to right now, but we'll see how the response is for other people. And again, we're also willing to open this up to other people. We did this before with CJ, and we did it with Greenery, who's been on the podcast the last 2 to 3 weeks ago. So we had a good time doing that, and it was CJ and Greenery's first time meeting each other. So now I'm back with the gang, man. I've known these guys for at least 10, 12, 13 years. When did we go Korea?
Yeah.
I think
2010?
yeah,
Yeah, man.
29,
Yeah.
2009.
Nah,
So
20.
yeah,
Yeah.
2010, 2011. That's when I
Nah,
was
nah,
there.
nah.
that
It
must have
was
been my
like,
second
yeah,
time in Korea. Then
29, 2009.
Oh, for y'all then.
2009 was my first time in Korea. I must have met you second time in Korea. That was
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
2011, 2012, I think.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
that
So the
had to
first
be
time,
it.
yeah, so I think Fred, that's when we got there at the same time, 2009, 2008.
Nah, I was
I want to say
2010. Oh man, I remember that. Don't date
was
me.
it?
I
Nah,
remember
Yeah.
it.
I
I got there in 2010 and left in 2011 in Korea,
okay.
man. So if you hear
Oh,
those two voices, for those of y'all listening to this podcast, that's my man C Jones and then Mars Native. Y'all introduce yourselves, let them know a little bit of your musical history, and kind of just we'll go on from there.
You can go ahead, Mars.
I bet. So yeah, I'm the Mars native, man. I've been making music for about 20 years. Which sounds, man, that's a long time. But I've been making music for about 20 years. Started off on the MPC and started off just like a lot of people did. You know what I'm saying? Just pressing buttons, turning knobs, and seeing what happens. Um, I got a deep, rich history of music. My father is a musician. I got it in my blood. So it's kind of inevitable that I went down that path. You know what I'm saying? I also write, record, um, you name it. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like a one man band type deal. I play a few instruments, guitar, piano, a little bit of drums, like live drums, but I'm not too good at the drums yet. So that's why I stick to the pads for now. But I do a little bit of everything, man. What else? Grew up in Queens, New York. I'm from Dominica. Grew up in Queens, New York. You know what I'm saying? But and like we already discussed, I did 20 years in the Air Force as well. So a lot of my growing occurred there. You know what I mean? Recently retired, so I'm just making beats all day. It's great.
For sure. Before you go, CJ, man, what's your DAW of choice? What is your go to right now?
My DAW of choice is Logic. Logic. I started off on Fruity Loops. No, I started off on the raw MPC. No DAW, just raw MPC, right? Then I discovered Fruity Loops, banged it out for a few years, and then I went to there was another program that I can't remember. It wasn't a big program. Then I found Logic, and ever since I've been on Logic, man, my game has just stepped up ridiculously. So yeah, that's
For
where it's
sure,
at.
man. Definitely didn't strike me as a Fruity Loops guy, but man, you learn things. You learn things,
Hey
man.
man, Ninth One is a Fruity Loops guy, man. You know
Hey,
what I'm
no,
saying?
yeah, exactly. No
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
disrespect, no
no
disrespect at
disrespect.
all,
Yeah,
man. Now it's a dog to be reckoned with, especially for the younger
indeed.
generation. CJ, what about you?
So C Jones Music is what I go by. I'm a producer, engineer. Started off in the game as a rapper, probably in my teens as everyone did, but I started doing production as well at that same time too. So a couple years later, military, kind of put music on the back burner. I think around 2007, I'm gonna date myself. I dropped my first EP, C Jones Music Volume One, Chapter One. I'm sorry, and after that, military life just caught up, and I stopped rapping. Like in man, when did I stop rapping? 2010 is when I stopped
20 it had to
rapping.
be 20. I was about to say because I thought you was gonna say
20,
another year because you
20,
definitely was rapping in the apartment.
Well, I was just bullshitting then. I just kind of was enjoying the vibe, and then when I got to Virginia after that, I just kind of stopped. I guess I was just at that point in my life and my career. Fast forward, retired. 2 3 years after retirement, came back to music, and since then, I went to school for audio engineering. Fast forward again, and now here I am, trying to produce, trying to get into sync, trying to get into some placements, and here we are.
Sure. And before we kind of get into our round robin topics, man, what's your current dog choice?
Current dog choice is definitely Logic. Definitely Logic. I started off with bro, Sony Acid. If you don't know what Sony Acid
I remember
is,
that.
I remember that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I used to dabble
Yeah.
with Reason too, but Sony Acid, that's what I recorded my first EP off of. And I cannot find anything to open those files from Sony Acid now
Oh,
in
wow.
Oh
2023.
man.
But I'm definitely pro Team Logic. Pro Tools is my go-to. Like when I'm doing business, when I'm engineering, it's just so much easier to mix, master in Pro Tools. I also deal with Studio One too, so I deal with 3 different DAWs. But Logic is my go-to DAW.
Yeah, man. And I won't assume, for people if this is your first time hearing it, I'm Kash. I'm from New York City, Lower East Side, Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy to be exact. That's where my upbringing is, man. As far as where I'm from, got into music. I grew up in it, living in the city. So rapping, I don't know, probably 8, 9, 10. That's when I started trying to put rhymes on paper. My first DAW choice, I don't really think it was a DAW. It was a karaoke machine. Hung the mic over a ceiling fan, and me and my boys would rap like we was Cash Money, on fire in the dark, just passing the mic around, and everybody would get their raps off. Everybody run, record it, come back. So that was my first DAW choice. And then it was like, I think it was like the very first version of Audacity. That was what I was recording into, and I had like my grandmother had a compact computer. It was like one of the ones that you would just go to the library, you know what I mean? That was them days where computers wasn't really, everybody had them in their home. So I had that one computer on the block, and then that's kind of what I recorded into up until now. And right now, my DAW choice is pretty much any DAW that's easy for me to utilize. I don't care which DAW it is, man, but Logic primarily. So that's kind of what I'm using right now.
Band?
Nah, that's limited. I'm a little bit past that, but yeah, man, that's all I'm in right now. You know what I'm saying? But we can open up with you, man, CJ, being that you left music for such a long time. We got a similar story. I left music for a while. Mars has been pretty consistent with his music. How was that like going back to school, and what made you go back, and what made you rediscover like your love for the music?
I'm gonna keep it a buck, man. Honestly, I was working my GS job after the military, and I thought, like, because when you're in the military, you think your great transition is going to be into a GS job, and you're going to be happy. I was working a GS job, pay was, it was decent, and all of a sudden, like one day, like, somebody asked me, like, "Are you happy doing this?" And I'm just like, no, like, this is terrible. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was working in the same section that I used to run as a flight chief. Now I'm back working in as a GS. So many things you want to change, but your power as a civilian, you're limited. And rightfully as it should, because you're retired, you shouldn't even worry about that. But it's hard to cut yourself off from the, from the military like that. So I just started looking up schools, and I was like, damn, okay, Full Sail. I looked at that, and I was like, 4 years, and I was like, damn, I just finished a degree. I don't want to go back for 4 years again. So I found First Institute, and that was in Orlando. So, damn, should I go online or should I go? I called, went and toured the campus, and I just kind of saw it was best for me to go in person. So did that for a year, graduated, and it's like I would say a crash course of everything in a whole year. They give it to you real fast, and you gotta, spit it back out. So a lot of people get, I won't say washed back because it's a military term, but a lot of people get, started over, or they even drop out because, it's a heavy curriculum in a short period of time. So you gotta be able to grasp it. But like when I made that decision, honestly, it was the best decision coming back to something that I love. So.
For sure. So yeah. Mars, you're self-taught, man. At this point, I know you was considering going back to school at one point when you retired. What made you kind of curb that for a little bit? And because I know we talked about it a little bit, but I don't remember like the full story why you necessarily didn't go to learn, the game. I know you said something about I think it was one time you was like, yo, you went there and realized you knew more than them, and it kind of felt like you was going backwards.
Yeah. So I was considering Full Sail as well, you know what I'm saying? So I was looking into Full Sail, did the tour and everything. And I just remember going on the music production tour because I'm thinking, because while we're serving, right, you know what I'm saying, music production is something you kind of want to be involved with. You want to touch things and play things, you know what I mean? Online didn't really seem like the right way to do it. So, and back then, online schooling for music production didn't exist. Right. So finally, years later, I retired. Now the option, I can go do what I want. So I'm looking at Full Sail, and no disrespect to Full Sail, it might be good for somebody who's, young and starting. Right. But I did a tour, and they were like, oh, let's show you, this is like an example of the class of the course, what like a day in Full Sail is going to be. And we sat down, and they're like, this is a digital audio workstation. Some people call it a DAW, and then they're like, this is a keyboard, and then like, this is a track, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, holy shit! I'm like, my brain was just like, I'm already a little neurotic, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm just sitting there like shaking, like I'm like, yo, let's get to it, you know what I'm saying? And so they're telling everybody how to make a track, and it's really simplified, really slow. And as they're talking, I make a whole song. I'm talking about, chorus, bridges, and everything. I didn't record vocals, of course, but like I had a whole project done by the time they were done telling people how to make 1 track, 2 tracks. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, it had me thinking. I'm like, damn, is this the right path for me? You know what I'm saying? Then I started looking into. I did a month of their courses, and I started looking to the curriculum, and I saw that every course, whether it's music production or engineering or whatever, anything involved in music, it was all the same courses, same classes for like the first year. And then only towards the end did they specify engineering or production or whatever. And I'm like, I ain't trying to spend all my money just to maybe learn something at the end of it. So I'm like, I just bailed on Full Sail. So now I'm looking at going to, what school is it? The University of Tampa, because they focus a lot more on instrumentation and being a musician. And they serve you production on a side plate. I don't need a lot of lessons on production. I've been doing this shit for 20 years, but I would love to increase my musicianship. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm looking at now. You know what I mean?
Okay. Is that something you just want to do as far as the actual instrumentation, just cause to level up your artistry, or is it just you want to serve in different ways? As I'm not saying you transitioning from rapping, but do you want to just serve music in a different way?
Yeah, both. Like, I love music. Even though I make rap music, I love music. I spent all day going through Red Hot Chili Peppers catalog, you know what I'm saying? Then I was listening to System of a Down. Then I was listening to Erykah Badu, you know what I'm saying? I love music, period. So I love Radiohead. Radiohead's one of my favorite bands, you know what I'm saying? And so like I just want to learn everything about music, not just how to make rap music, you know what I'm saying? Like, I already do that. So it's kind of like I just want to evolve, and I'm hoping that everything that I learn can be incorporated into my music. So when you hear it, it's like, oh, this dude ain't just doing rap music. He has something else going on. You know what I'm saying? And you could already hear that in my music. You know what I mean? Yeah. And on a side note, I want to be able to, like, if there's a piano sitting in the middle of a mall or something, I just want to go sit on that joint and play some Mozart or something. You know what I mean? Just blow people's minds, man. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So yeah, I just want to be a musician, period. That's all it's about. Yeah.
Well, that's an excellent segue to just kind of what I want to get into in terms of no rules. So as I've been kind of getting into production and learning my way around, I pretty much harass CJ all the time about random shit that I find, plugins, and I go down a rabbit hole to the point where I may not even come up here to even produce. I'm just like learning all day, through YouTube University and seeing what suits my learning skill. You know what I mean? But sometimes I'm stuck between, I'm old enough to know better because I do want to learn the basics of a MPC, of my DAW and of these, but there's so much technology out here right now that to where you can pretty much skip the line if you want to. And I don't know if I care. I don't know if I care to be that rigid in my approach anymore, because I'll be honest with you, I'm older now. I'm 40. Like, I don't have time to be putting in 10,000 hours. If I can get there in 2,
yeah, you do.
You have time.
Yeah, you do.
You have time.
I mean, we don't got time.
I don't want to hear that shit. Yeah,
when you would listen, all right, when you would listen to the music though, like when you're put yourself in rapper mode though, because that's where I'm always at. If I hear a dope beat, I don't give a shit how it was made. If it inspires me, I want to rap to it. Now, on the business side of things, that's a whole different that's a whole different thing. But when I'm making it, I'm making the music and getting to the enjoyment of the music before I'm thinking about, okay, who made this beat? Is this a lease beat? Is this a beat that they're gonna sell exclusive? Before I get to all of that, for me, it's just about a dope beat. So I find myself stuck You know what I mean? I'm in a limbo right now as I'm learning
Yeah.
the production side of things.
I have
I
a
think
theory about that.
that's a fun place to be in, though.
Or the
Go
learning
ahead with your
phase.
theory. Well, yeah. Well, the thing is that I think that's the cool thing about learning is that learning there are no rules to learn. You know what I'm saying? But the
Mm.
more you do something, you develop a responsibility in that. And so, like as a producer, I find it's my responsibility to give authenticity back to the world. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of shortcuts that I could take doing things, but like, am I the one contributing to it, or am I the one taking away from it? I think Prince said something a long time ago, like, pretty soon we're gonna be sampling us, sampling us, sampling us. So, I can still kick out original stuff right now. You know what I'm saying? So I can still contribute to the pot. So, I kind of think, you don't have to cut that corner, bro. You don't have to. You don't have to.
Here's what I think.
You know what I'm saying?
Here's what I think. I think Cash. I mean, well, you answered this question. I'm not going. This is my prediction, but I want to hear what you say. Are you, if you had to put one above the other, are you a rapper first or a producer first?
I would probably say, if I really sat down and thought about it, I would probably say I'm a producer, because as I'm listening to albums, I'm thinking about sequence, and I'm thinking about how one beat goes into the other, and all of it meshes together for me. You know what I mean? I'm thinking about the
Yeah.
raps, but I'm also thinking like shit, I don't know when it started, but I'm also thinking like I'm an executive producer the whole time. Like, I don't know if I would have put that record on there. Like, I've always thought like that
Gotcha.
about guys' albums and stuff like that, and I always analyze it that way. So
Yeah.
I just never knew how to get there, with how the production for the people that actually put hands on machines and talented to play instruments. So I've always wanted to do that. I wanna stick to it. I mean, I'm into a lot of different shit. I DJ. I picked that up from my dad. That comes second nature to me. I'm rusty, but give me 2 weeks, I'm back at it, and I'm good again. You know what I mean? But I mean, I'm into all the elements. You just probably more so the rap. You know what I mean? But the production thing is like, I'm finding all these, I won't necessarily say shortcuts, but I'm finding ways to do things a lot more efficient than strictly being on an MPC or strictly being on an SP. Those are my two drum machines, and then the rest is DAW work. You know what I mean? And I'm finding what I'm good at in the DAW, I'm finding what I'm good at on the MPC, and what that's best for, and I'm just going over different plugins. You know what I'm saying? But then, sometimes I come to CJ and they'd be like, wah, 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 because then he talking about the sync licensing and all the business side of it. And it's like, shit, I got to tighten up. You got to tighten up, because, you know what I mean? If you really want to start to sell these things, say I do produce a really dope beat and people have started inquiring about some of my stuff as I've posted online. What if they want it exclusively? What if it's a bigger artist? And they start asking certain questions. So, and you got to be on the up and up legally. Where did you get this beat? Did you get it from a sound kit from MPC, the MPC store? Like, you got to remember all that shit. And as I'm starting out, I want it to be fun, but then again, it's the music business. So if you want to be in the business, if you want to get your music to people, you got to kind of walk that line of I'm older, so I know better. We've seen the horror stories in the game, so you got to do better. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at with it. It's the business is all wrapped up in the learning. So, like I said, I'm that's where I'm at right now.
All right. Like, okay, I hear that, man. I was trying to understand, like, why you might feel the way you feel about it. As far as like, I just want to get to the point. You know what I mean? And because to me, it's more about like the journey. Like when I make music, it starts from a single guitar pluck or a single note on the piano, and it's like a Lego block, and then you grab another Lego block and you put it there, grab another Lego block and you put it there, and you can put them anywhere you want, right? You know what I'm saying? And by the time you're done, every piece is always so unique and different, man. And like, I think for me, like that's where the heart is at, man. It's like none of these ideas, all these ideas already existed, right? So it's kind of like looking up into the universe and then just like, oh, I like that idea. You take it, then you just like, you create it. you have it in your head and you create it. You know what I'm saying? Let me add this on there, and that to me, that I'm a producer first, hands down.
And y'all both
I can rap my
original
ass
too.
off.
Y'all both original with y'all production, you know, for the most part. I
Mm.
don't see y'all sampling too much, you know what I mean? You may take a little sound here and there, but that, I mean, that's not
Yeah.
sampling. That's you utilizing the plugins that we all have, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's beauty in sampling too. I mean, the same
Oh,
art
yeah.
comes in sampling too.
No
I
doubt.
used to sample a
Oh,
lot.
it's the art,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love samples, bro. But the thing is, as a producer, I can't afford samples. And I'm talking about clearing the samples to put them out. Like it's easier for me
Yeah.
to create something new. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not
Mhm.
I'm not one of those producers like I don't sample. Like, bro, if I could sample, I would. But the thing
Yeah,
is
nah.
like
Samples is man. You kidding me?
but you know, if to do it
Yeah.
right, because you know, I'm kind of like a little OCD too. So if I sample something, I want to do it right. I want to make sure it's clear. I want to make sure that you know I have full rights to use it. But you know, don't get me
Mhm.
wrong. If I want to have fun with a beat, you know, hey, no one's gonna know about it. You know, I'm not gonna let it go outside of this room. Then you know, I might sample a little bit. But anything that I'm putting out, I want to put my own stamp on it.
And nowadays we got algorithms that catch that shit off the jump.
Oh yeah.
And they keep muting my shit. Every time I put something up that has samples in it, my whole shit gets muted, man. And I get an email. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, So that kind of strayed me towards more like, you know, instrumentation too. You know?
Right. But you know, but nowadays it's kind of a catch me if you can, you know, especially for I mean, it's been that way for years. It's been that way It's been that way for years for indies, but like now it's even more rampant and it's like, man, like how I don't care how they getting away with it, but I know how they getting away with it. Like I've literally uploaded sample based music.
Yeah.
And you know, it sometimes it catches it in different distributors that, you know, digital distributors. Sometimes if you if you chop it up just right, you know, turn the semitones down enough and you get precise with that chopping, it's like a new song. You know what I'm saying? And dudes that's doing it for the love and they're getting paid off for these streams, it's just like that's where you could run into issues if your shit really does blow up. You know what I mean? Like
right.
And that's key. That's key. Because that's how they're getting away with it. Because you know, streams are staying under a certain number. It's not real money coming
right
yet. But at the same time, you know, you got to figure out if the artist that you're sampling is worse off than you. Because if they trying to chase every penny, then you know what I'm saying. But most artists that people are sampling, at least they good to go. You know what I'm saying. So a lot of cats get away with it, you know. But I just, you know, hey, to each their own.
Yeah, man. So
you know.
So my thing is, man, you know, a lot of talks been happening. Kind of speaking of shortcuts, we can stay with that, the AI production and stuff like that. What do y'all think about some of those tools? Have you had a chance to really use some of them? Have you just been seeing how good it's getting?
Well,
AI's been around, but I mean,
go ahead, Jones. Yeah, go ahead.
So I'll start out. So AI on production, like music. So there's one plugin, Melody Sauce. It's kind of like an AI generated plugin. Don't get me wrong, they have some nice melodies in there, but I feel like sometimes it's soulless a little bit. Like there's no soul to it. Like it'll get the job done, but there's no soul to it. So I want to say I stay away from that, but like in a pinch, I might use something like that, and knowing that it's not my best work, you know. But yeah, it's crazy. It's but I just try to stay away from it. But you know, you got to be able to use it. I mean, the world is changing, so you got to know it's there. But you know, apply it to your toolkit in some kind of way if need be. But you know, definitely not a go-to for me. But I'll use it.
I feel like AI as a whole is a little sketchy, man. But when it comes to music, man, like when it comes to art, right? Art is like created from the human mind, the human creativity, and the human hand. You know what I'm saying? When you take art away from human beings, I think the world is gonna be a fucking much sadder and darker place. Not just in music, just like when you take away the art and the creativity, because that's where the soul lives, man. That's how the soul expresses itself. So when you you take that away, the whole world is gonna get darker and sadder. So I think we're heading down this way. I know some people are like, oh, you know, want to defend it and all that. That's the motherfuckers who don't want to sit behind a piano or a guitar and practice. You know what I mean? And if you don't, that's fine, right? I'm not trying to knock anybody. You know, everything's not for everybody.
Yeah, I definitely represent that side of wanting to get to it. You know what I'm saying? But I got my limits too. You know what I mean? Like it just don't feel right with like that. There's a bunch of plugins that generate so many different melodies. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, man, if it generate and you could probably get away with it. Nobody will ever know it's kind of what you put in there, and you can do a whole lot of different things, switch it up, chop it up, and make it your own. You know what I mean? I don't think it's any different than if you have a Juno 7 or whatever plugin, you know, as far as a synthesizer, and you making all those sounds your own. You know what I'm saying? It's just that if everybody's saying I'm using Melody Sauce, for example, and everybody goes to that, how many same sounding songs are you gonna get? You know what I mean? From there. So my thing would be like kind of harkening back to the rapper in me is I don't want to sound like anybody else. You know what I mean? I would pay homage by saying a line or something like that from one of my rappers I like or something like that, but I definitely wouldn't go into it trying to sound or emulate anybody's sound. You know, I think it's cool to emulate in the form of a satisfaction, but definitely biting that's the fine line, you know, where I kind of call it like I definitely wouldn't utilize all of those tools in terms of that, but you know, to teach his own, man. Teach his own.
Yeah, but
nah, man, we need to ban that shit.
I think I think you know that space you talked about as a rapper, how when you find a dope beat, you want to write to it. For me as a producer, just like Mars talked about, that's my like. I think some people have to find their dope space as a producer. You know what I'm saying? Like Mars was saying, like that one pluck, like then you tie that with some chords, then you tie that with some strings, maybe. Like that's my rapper finding a dope beat moment that I'm composing something and putting it all together. Like that's why I do it. You know what I'm saying? Then to play it all over when it's done, like I put this together. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the fun of producing. So I think sometimes like it's easy to find fun and like, you know what I'm saying? I would say per se rapping because, you know, you spit bars, ooh, that shit hot. Ooh, that shit hot. But sometimes producing is the payout at the end when all of it's done and you're like, I made a masterpiece. You know what I'm saying? It's not instant sometimes, you know. So.
And you wake up in the morning and play it and you're like, oh shit, like I did that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like how did I do that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what AI takes that away, man.
Right. Yeah, because it's like Kash talked about. There are a lot of plugins out there that will generate melodies. I'm not gonna name any plugins names, but some are subscription based. And you know, you put in the melody, you put in the BPM, and order up fresh beat. You know what I'm saying? I think like that's scary to me because, you know, I'm not gonna lie. Like I tried it. You know, I made a few beats on it, but I think the thing is that what we fail to realize sometimes is there's a market out there for people to feel like they're, I won't say beat makers or producers. So a lot of these companies are serving up things to young kids, bedroom producers, knowing that they're not going to get outside of their bedroom with this music to be cleared in any kind of way. It's just having fun with it. But I think they kind of blew the top off of having fun with music. You know what I'm saying? It's like buying Jordans knowing that you're not going to go into the NBA. Like you can feel pro, but not be pro at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, but there's a huge market out there of people that want to feel pro.
Yo, yeah, and I understand. I understand exactly what y'all was saying because that one thing I was, you know, one of the plugins that I brought was like a drum plugin because I'm like I finally realized that I'm all right with drumming, with finger drumming, but that's not my forte right now. You know, I'm gonna get better, but it's gonna take some time with me finger drumming right on the MPC.
Send me them shits, man. Put some drums on there for you.
I'm getting better at it. I know where to put certain things on the 4, on the 8. I know I'm starting to learn like how to play certain drum rolls and where I need to put it by hand. But also, like I'm starting to learn that with the plugin, like one of these plugins, I won't mention them because they're not paying at all. That I bought recently that I think I showed you, CJ. It's a drumming plugin. You can kind of shape your drums and how you want your drums to sound, whether you want it to sound live playing and all these different type of swings and all this shit. And it works for me because I understand what it's trying to do. It's right there in my face. It's not a lot of menu diving, none of that. And I could either use the stock or I could get fly with it and just do whatever I want. You know what I mean? And that part was dope. So I listened to drums for a good 30 minutes, different type of drum patterns for 30 minutes. And then, you know, I found a few different sounds, chopped up a sample real fine. And that was probably my best sampling in months. You know what I'm saying? Because I suck at sampling too right now. So, you know, I was excited by that. So that building of a beat and making it your own. So I definitely get where y'all coming from, you know what I'm saying, in terms of that. You know what I mean? Yeah, so it's like having a baby, you know what I mean? I guess, for lack of better words.
It
or
is.
Examples.
You know what I mean? I just spread mad babies everywhere, son.
Shooting up the club everywhere.
Yeah, man.
Got thousands of babies, baby.
You did say something, CJ, in terms of just you know, the fly by night beats, the folks that may just be putting out music for the love, and I respect people that's putting it out for the love, not necessarily trying to blow up, because there's a lot of people that are fine in life. They just like to express themselves musically. So you have beat stars, you have other things like that. And I had just sent y'all something earlier with Swisher Beats. I don't know if y'all familiar with Swisher Beats on BeatStars. He makes quite a few dollars on BeatStars if you ever been on there. I've actually used one of his beats, the Top of 22, one of my first singles or whatever. And this dude was like, he don't even sell exclusive beats no more. Like, he'll release the same beat over and over and over and over and over and over again. So what are you guys' thoughts on both sides of the coin with just continuous leases?
I'm coming off hot on this one.
Come on.
So I'm not the thing is, I think I'm going to start off by saying this disclaimer. I think it depends on what kind of producer you want to be. Like, I ain't knocking him. I ain't knocking anyone who leases beats. I think, if you can make a living leasing beats that you created yourself, hey, that's a win-win. If you're putting food on your family's table, that's what's up. But I'm in a space where I don't have to lease beats to make a living. You know what I'm saying? So, I do it for the love. And when I do it for the love, I want my art to be represented in a way that I want to, So I'm not saying that people that lease beats aren't eating. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the clip that you sent, like, yeah, oh boy, is eating if he made it off a lease beat. But I don't think that he's going to ever get to a level of, per se, a Timbaland, a Pharrell, or, a Swiss Beats, or someone, noted producers, because that's not your game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're selling these beats, being a pro producer, it may be not something, it's something that he's not even focused on that. He said it himself. I don't care about exclusives. I'm not, and so that's fine if you want that for yourself. Like, I taught myself all of this stuff, just not the least beats. Like, I want to work with people that's making art. You know what I'm saying? So I guess that's the difference between a beat maker and a producer. Like, a beat maker is mostly nameless on records. You know what I'm saying? They making beats and shipping them out. But a producer is gonna make a beat. Sometimes some producers don't even make beats. A producer's gonna shape that song around that instrumental or that beat that's made by that beat maker, and then
around
it's
the artist
gonna be
itself.
Exactly. So it's a difference between. I think it just kind of depends on where you want to be at. If you want to be a beat maker, that's your job, forming out beats. But if you focused on producing, then I mean there is many angles to that. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and again, it's the wild west, man. Because like my first album, when I came back to making music in 2022, I was just going on BeatStars. I didn't have many connections. I'm pretty sure I could have reached out to some people for beats, but you know how it is, man. When you like searching for other people's beats and stuff like that, even if they're your homies, sometimes it just don't connect, and you just gotta, if you're wanting to put something out, you gotta search for the inspiration, right? At the time. So I did that. Some people that I did know that I've interviewed on the podcast and all that, they contributed to probably every last one of my projects since I've been making music again. But for the BeatStar guys and for the guys that I've found that I don't have a relationship with that lease beats because I've done it, it feels like when I was in Korea in my horror days. It feels just like a quick bang. You know what I mean? It's just because they don't they don't
telling our secrets, man.
I'm telling my secrets. I ain't tell yours. You don't have to incriminate yourself.
Listen,
you don't have
everybody
to
who been in
incriminate
Korea,
yourself.
man.
You see,
My
I'm
wife
like,
knows.
No, y'all know who you are.
My wife knows she met me as a whore, so I could tell this story. So yeah, so that's kind of how I felt because like none of them, they don't have to promote it. If you sell me the beat, the deal is done.
right.
You don't have to do any of that. But none of them even tried to listen. It was nothing. You know what I
They
mean?
don't care, bro.
Hey man, you killed that shit, bro. Like none of that. You know what I mean? I credited them. I thought I was doing right by putting them in the credits. Who made the beat and all that shit. Went back, got their full names, put it in there. They didn't give a fuck because
they don't care.
Guess what? Buddy is making 60 grand off that one beat that I probably bought. I'm probably part of the
mission
60
complete.
grand.
You purchase that shit, mission complete. They're done with you. Like that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're not doing it for the love. I mean,
They may love it, but they love money more.
That's what I mean. Like, but yeah, their focus seems to be the selling of beats. And if that's your focus, then cool. You know what I mean? To each his own and everything, right? But I don't know, man. I think the greatest artists out there never focused on just selling. You know what I'm saying? Or appeasing to a certain sound in order to sell. Like the greatest artists have their own lane. I want to be in my own lane. You know what I'm saying? And me as a rapper, like I never rapped over anybody else's beats in my life.
No,
I just
realized
that's
true.
Now that I said it, yo.
He's always made his own shit or worked closely with somebody else.
Yeah.
Even in the karaoke days. Like,
I mean, if you're doing like a karaoke joint or you're doing a show or something, yeah, I'll rap. I'll be like, yo, throw some J Dilla beat on, and I'll do some shit. You know what I mean? Because they don't have my beat. If I had my beat, I'd be like, hey, play my beat so I can rap to it. But if it's just a live thing, yeah, but I'm talking about like recording wise. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But like for me to like, if I know one beat sold and to like 10,000 people, I want nothing to do with that beat. Like I don't want it. I don't care how hot it is. Get that shit out of my face. You know what I mean?
But it's a space.
Yo,
It
happened to me. It happened to me twice, y'all. I'm not done. So there's another beat that on that same Later Rival album that Meek Mill done rapped over it. I showed y'all. I think I showed you, CJ, when Meek Mill rapped over it. He didn't even use it. He just used it in one of his. I'm in the studio. I'm gonna just show off. This is the record I'm rapping to. So, of course, a bunch of people was like, "Yo, isn't this the joint off of?" I'm like, "Yeah, it is."
Ain't that the same shit everybody else is rapping on?
You know what happened with that record though? Because that was made by the cat. I can't remember his name. He made the beat. He was on his MPC in the car, and I think Meek Mill saw it, and he's like, "I want to rap on it." But I think they had trouble with the clearance of the sample and some more stuff. So it didn't go through. So yeah.
38 Special, another rapper.
Yeah.
Affiliated with Ransom, Griselda, and stuff like that. Same beat. Rapped over it. Got more text messages about it. So I was like, you know what, man? I'm never going to do it again. And what did I do working on my upcoming album?
quick bang, dog.
I rolled the dice again. I rolled it. But so it was like, but it's like, I feel like I sound good on these beats, these two beats I bought. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. I take my chances, but I said from here on out, man, this is my last time, last project to where I don't work with somebody that I already know that is not going to sell this beat again because it's just, it feels cheap, man. It feels cheap. And even if I sound good on it.
I can understand if it's like a mixtape type deal. You know what I mean? You on your mixtape thing, you just trying to show people how good you can rap. And it's like, yo, throw me beats. You just want to rap off the best beat, period. I can get it then. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, if you putting out an album, like this is the album's supposed to represent you with your heart and your soul. Like, and you just want to use some shit that everybody else uses.
But yo, here's my problem.
I wouldn't.
And this is why I got into production. Here's my problem, right? the part of it is that I'm not gonna come to you, Mars, or UCJ, and say I want you to sound like Fist. That's, to me, that's disrespectful as a producer. Don't come to me because you think I make dope shit and you want something from my. I'll send you a bunch of joints, or you tell me how you feeling, and I'll send those.
Yeah.
Whatever I think suits you, but don't come to me and tell me to make some shit like Timbaland or make some shit like I just think that's disrespectful. So rather than me coming to a producer and say I'll probably say I want you to sample this, kill that shit. You know, I want it to be up tempo about 90. That's probably the most direction I'll give somebody and see where their creativity goes from here on out if it's not me producing. But
I think, I think sometimes with rap, like, and the reason why we have so many beat makers in rap is that sometimes we so like proud of our shit, like in rap, that we don't want to put our record in a producer's hands to shape the song. You know what I'm saying? And so we get a whole lot of songs sounding alike. So the thing is a producer sells an experience. You come to me with no 16s or nothing. Hey, let's make a song. We gonna create a song. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's more valuable than me sending you a beat tape with like 10 of my beats on there. And you know, that's just like going on Beatstar, hey, what I want. You know what I'm saying? But hey, that's how music is made too. But I honestly think you get the true experience from a producer by sitting down with him, starting off, like I said, with no bars, maybe a few bars just to get the song going, maybe a chorus idea, and producer coming up with some chords, drums, and y'all make that song. Like, that's like those producers that I mentioned not too long ago, like they shape songs around people, or they bring experiences out of people that you don't get. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would say like Hit Boy
pull
and
something out of them,
yeah. You know, that they didn't even know that was there themselves. That's what a good producer does. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They push
I love I love that idea, man. And it's just probably we all, you know, to include each other, like we all just need to get out of our I think that, man, I'll be honest, that pandemic fucked me up, man. Like I've been a ambivert my whole life, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm a recluse when I want to be a recluse, but when I'm out and about the people. But before the pandemic, I was more so out and about. Now, I could care less about, you know, being out and about and taking that extra step to, all right, let me just go down to Florida for, you know, 4 days. We kick it, we bust it up. If we make music, cool. If not, we learn a little bit more about each other because we've all been apart from each other, for example. Or we make that destination trip. Everybody bring their equipment for a week. We bang out, make music, go eat, go drink, come back, make music. Like, you know, you could take those times out to do that, and you never know what may come out. But I don't think, you know, even without y'all other cats, I know, like, that's not the catering, the slow burn of making music. I think that's lost with this email wave era. You know, unless people really
that's
rock
unfortunate.
with you.
Unless you're really passionate about it and find a bunch of other people who are really passionate about it. You know what I mean? Yeah, you bring that up. Like, you bring that idea up to me, that shit sounds like a great time.
That sounds like a great time, man. Everybody come to go to like a, you know, no weird shit. Go to a cabin. Everybody bring some food. Yeah. We grill, you know, for a week.
Yup.
You know, just fellowship and fucking make music.
Go meditate by the river and shit.
You know, bring bring your the shit that had you hugging trees.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna bring my tree hugging vices, bro.
Hell spices and shit.
Everybody gonna be making some spices.
Right.
Everybody gonna be making some crazy shit that night, that fucking week.
You're right, Kash. But that's how you bring back the organics of the music. And if y'all watching the Wu-Tang Saga joint,
I've enjoyed it.
Yo, I'm watching that Wu-Tang. I'm watching that Wu-Tang on the
Hulu. Yo, so you see how Ray and Ghost was like, yo, we need to go on a vacation to write this album.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I think the most successful artists that create, rap artists specifically, that create art in their music, they're vulnerable with their egos when they're dealing with producers. Like, I think Ab Soul just said something recently. He's like, you know, this is the first time I sat down with producers and I was like, what do you think that I would sound good in? Bring something out of me versus me shopping through a bunch of beat tapes. I think Kendrick does the same thing with Soundwave. You know, they sit down, they go on trips, they meditate. You know what I'm saying? They get through this. You know what I'm saying? So Yeah. So creating an album is experience. It's not just shopping through beat
Yeah.
tapes, you know, because like you said,
Right.
I think at this point everyone knows that you can rap, or you know, and I think that's why there's so many people leasing beats, because everyone is happy to show that they can rap good. So there's a huge market of people that don't
Yeah.
mind sounding like other people, and that's great. You know what I'm saying? You can make a lot of money selling to those people. But if you're in it for the art and you want to make art with rappers, singers, then you have to do the study time to create the work. You know what I'm saying? You just can't get
Yeah,
I
around.
agree, 100%.
Facts,
Yeah.
facts, facts. Because that's kind of what I was
Yeah.
thinking about. Like right now, as I'm learning how to produce, is like just no beat is the same. Like I haven't,
Yeah.
you know, sometimes I want to do some trap shit. Sometimes I want to do some boom bap shit. Sometimes I want to do some airy, spaced out shit. Sometimes I want to make some shit that sounds like a mixture of fucking Asian rock and some other crap. Like I just want to throw sounds
Yeah.
together and
That's-
see what
That's
sounds
the fun
good.
of it, man.
Yeah,
that's
and
what's so
that's
fun
the
about
fun-
that
that's the
shit,
fun
man. You know what I mean?
I don't want to have
Yeah.
a signature sound like producers that we grew up on. You know what I mean? There's value in that because people know
Oh, yeah.
what they're coming to you for. But I necessarily
And the
have too
thing
many
is, though,
different joints I like. Yeah, go ahead.
with that though, with like, you know, grabbing all kinds of crazy sounds, 'cause that's what I do. I just go there and look for the craziest sounds to see if I can make
Oh,
a
yeah.
song or make something from it. But it always
Mhm.
comes out with a signature. I'm not trying to put a signature on it, but when you hear one of my
Mhm.
beats, it's like
your
you know
sauce,
that's
yeah.
one of my beats.
Yeah.
That shit sound like some alien spaced out shit. It always does. Even when I'm trying, I was talking to my boy, I was texting my boy the other day. I was like I try to make like upbeat, happy music, but it always comes out dark, and I don't know why. You know what I'm saying? Like I know why. I know exactly why. I know the technical reason why, as far as chord progressions. But as I'm playing around this piano, like, you know, those major chords, they don't hit me like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
agree.
minor progressions, man. You know, I like minor progressions, man. So it's
I
like
agree.
that's where my pocket's at, you know.
I agree. I'm A minor all
Yeah.
day. I love A minor, bro. Like that, I can't make any
Mhm.
beat off A minor. Like that's, but A minor isn't
Yeah.
sad all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like if you progress A
Right.
minor up, it can be happy. But you know, hey,
Right, exactly. Because A minor and
So-
C major, they live in the same space, so you
Yep,
know,
exactly.
you can
Exactly.
play. Yeah, I'm a D
Yeah,
minor. I'm a D
A
minor.
couple
That's my
months
shit
ago, I
right
would
there.
have no idea what y'all talking about.
Yeah.
But I get it. I get it. I
Yeah.
guess I'm learning some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm
you know,
talking about.
What are some of the plugin or your go-to plugins or you know that you guys are using right now as some of your staples or gear in your workflow that's like shit that you just can't live without right now?
We talking trade secrets now. I don't know about that, man.
Yeah, they can't
I'll
use it
give
like
them-
you could use it. So
give
it
them a
is.
You
little-
right, true.
give
You
them a
right.
little bit.
You're right.
Hold on.
And
Hold on,
also,
let me get my
thousands of
note-
people already use
Hold
it.
on,
So
let me go find
Let me get
this.
my notepad to write down some of Mars.
I make my own sounds, man. I'll be like, you know what I mean?
I'm posting
And then I
posting
sample
a beat
myself.
tomorrow called the Jupiter Native.
Yeah.
I love Arturia shit. I love the Arturia shit.
Yeah.
There's one I'm gonna say. No, I'm not even gonna tell y'all. No, I'm telling y'all
I'm gonna
off.
tell you offline.
Nah, offline. Nah,
We
that's
supposed
like,
to be
that's just my
sharing.
bread
This is
and-
what this is about. The pod. You gotta share with the people.
You know me, bro. You know I don't like sharing shit, man. I don't.
He's coming here to be a hoarder.
Why you asking?
I don't even share my own music. I make music and
but I don't want to.
I
I
had
make
to.
music and throw that shit under the bed for nobody to ever hear it ever again. Like I need to stop doing that.
He said, I
But,
haven't rapped over
all right.
nobody's beats and I haven't sold them shit either. I'm a self-contained unit.
Straight up. All right.
Yo.
So Arturia got. Go ahead, Corey. What's up?
You
Are we
was gonna say
frozen?
something, CJ?
No, I was gonna say when Mars passed, he's like, bury me with my music in my casket like this, all my unheard. Pry it from my
Straight
cold
up.
dead hands. Straight up.
Yeah.
Straight up. You want these MP3s? You gotta download it from my dead body. You know what I'm saying? I gotta stop doing that though. I do admit I gotta stop doing that. I got thousands of beats just that never made it to the light of day, man. That's a problem. I admit it.
Maybe you too could be like the BeatStars guy. You just put 1,000 of them joints on there.
Yeah.
And then
I could-
He's
lease
not
after
gonna lease
lease.
them though. problem. He not gonna.
Maybe you have a whole new
Every
lease
one
on
of them's gonna be
life.
$2,000. You want this beat? $10,000.
Yo, man, that residual
That's
income.
not
Imagine,
nice.
yo, if I ain't even gonna lie. I can't knock the hustle because when I think about it financially, if I have, let's talk on the minimum scale. If I have like $20,000 coming in per year in the beats that are being leased over and over again, am I singing a different tune? Am I gonna be a hypocrite? Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah, probably.
Oh.
I'd probably be a hypocrite because if I could make 20,000 off of some lease beat, but it's all in what the goal is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's what you want. Yeah, I don't think none of us said that it was bad, but I think if you go down that, I won't say it like you're on drugs. If you go down that path of leasing beats, no, it's it's not bad, but I just think if you tune your radar to become a beat maker, then you're a beat farm. You're just farming out beats, and you don't care who. You know what I'm saying? And,
a beat farm.
There's, so
that's a great idea.
Again, I've have like a bunch of dudes that I've had on the podcast in terms of like guys that work together often, that are making music, and I won't do my limited research. I'd say the ones that are winning are the ones that have come together for countless times, and they're making music between one another, and they're in sync. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're calling, I made some shit that I know you're gonna sound good on. You know what I mean? Like they're like,
they know each other well enough.
They know each other well enough, and as I see them progress and make better albums, better sounding albums, better mix, that like they're progressing. This person's using this person as a mixer, and like everybody's kind of forming like their little go-to guys and shit like that. And I see from my experiences that they are winning because of that, because of the teamwork, because of the camaraderie, as opposed to going for outside sources to beats and shit like that. And I like that too. That's dope to find one producer, one rapper, but I also enjoy putting shit together. Like I also enjoy the P. Diddy aspect of it, so to speak. And let me grab this here. Let me do this. Like I know how I want an album to sound, and I don't know if I'm ready to sit down with one person yet. That's just me personally. So but that's where I'm at with it, But I do enjoy that aspect of it. So it's pros and cons to it. For sure. So I mean,
I would love to produce, man, for like one. I am producing for like
somebody?
one artist. You know what I mean? I'm producing for somebody. Yeah, I'm producing the album for some. Yeah, it is new. I'm producing for somebody, man.
That's
dope. Like and so I'm gonna see how that goes, man. I'm trying to cater it to him. You know what I'm saying? But still keep my stank on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he came to me because he liked my shit, right? So like, of course, I gotta keep it my shit. I'm not gonna just go make a Timbaland beat out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No disrespect to Timbaland. Like Timbaland's one of the greatest, but I'm not Timbaland, so I can't.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna try to imitate that. You know what I'm saying? So. But yeah, we'll see how that comes out.
Dope.
Oh, that's dope.
I'm looking forward to that.
Dope.
CJ, would you care to share any of your? You gonna keep it a secret too?
I don't have a computer. No, just.
I don't have dollars.
I think I'll share this. This is one of my recent favorites. I would say probably RC20. I love RC20, man. RC20 is super dope. It's not really a production plugin. It's really like an engineering plugin. It just gives you that tape saturation. It gives you a vintage like machine kind of sound too. They have some presets on there that are pretty dope too. But it gives you that kind of that vinyl, that lo-fi, like a record is spinning in the background kind of thing. It gives you that. So RC20 is dope. But there are a lot of plugins that do that. I think Arturia has a plugin called Mellow Lo-Fi or something like that has. So
yeah.
I'm into
they got one called Abbey Road too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm using
making things sound old. I think sound a little bit older, So, but for sounds, I'm an Arturia guy. Yeah, I'm an Arturia guy. I love Arturia sound banks, no doubt.
Yeah, they got some nice sounds, man.
Yeah. So. That's
Yeah,
all I can say.
I'm
I'll go.
considering diving a little bit deeper into it, but they got so many damn sounds for free. I don't know if I want to go all in for like the Analog
I,
Lab series and
I
stuff quite
mean,
yet.
just Analog Lab alone, bro, it's over like
Yeah,
5,000 sounds in Analog Lab alone,
yeah.
which is crazy within itself.
And you could tweak every single one of them, man.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
I've been
yeah.
using that
People,
shit for like 2 years straight now.
hell yeah. People sleep on
Yeah, I
that. People
put
sleep
y'all
on.
on. Damn, give me some
You
credit.
did.
You
You
did.
did.
You,
You
The
did. You did put me
non-producer
on. You
put
put
you
producers
did.
and
on.
you
You did. You
yeah.
did.
And you put me
You
onto
did.
the Arturia keyboard too. You know
So
what I
yeah,
mean?
you got
Like
the 88 key. He got the big boy. Yeah, he
Yeah.
went all in.
yeah.
He went all in and got
Yeah.
the weighted keys and everything, man.
Hell yeah. Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, man.
Gotta
So
get them
I'm
finger
waiting on my
muscles, you know what I
little
mean?
desk so I could be, like the big boys.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Even Alchemy and
Oh,
Logic. We
yeah.
talked about Logic, but Alchemy inside of Logic, yo, it's a great stock plugin. I think Logic has the best stock plugins probably on the market,
Pe-
honestly.
people be
Straight up.
sleeping on it, son. People be sleeping on it. They
Logic,
think because it's a
bro.
stock plugin, they think it's like, oh, you using stock plugins? I'm like, yeah, motherfucker, you not? Like, you hear these shits, like they're fucking amazing. You can
Yeah.
tweak them however you want to. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh yeah.
it's
nah,
dope.
yeah,
Log-
Alchemy's dope,
Logic's EQ and compressor all day on all my. I use them every time on all my production. Logic EQ.
man. You use the opto kit,
Nah, I
the
don't use the
opto compressor. You don't use the opto compressor for your drums?
Mm-mm. I have a drum. I
Your
have
truck?
a plugin that I put on my drum buds.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
I-
opto compression is pretty nice for the drums, man.
Yeah.
Like
To tighten
it's
them
really,
up.
it's like actually really nice. Yeah, it's really nice for
Yeah.
the drums. Like I was really surprised. Yeah, try it next time.
Yeah, I might have to
Okay.
add that because I got my signal chain and my flow going right now. So the only problem I'm having is when producers send really, really fucking loud beats and it's hard to tame
Bro.
and mix. So
Bro.
that's probably it. But
That's the worst.
Ozone. I give y'all. That's one of my shits. Ozone.
thanks for the reminder. I
and
gotta
and CJ, you put me onto that shit.
Yeah, Ozone, bro. Ozone
Yeah.
is quick
Mhm.
mastering. But the thing too is just mixing the beats though. I try to keep my
Mhm.
shit like under zero. Like you got to stay under zero. Man, cats be sending beats that are
Oh, yeah.
mastering sound. You know what I'm saying? No headroom for the rapper
Yeah.
to do.
none whatsoever.
My shit be like
stop.
and
my
I
shit be
don't
like
think they
negative
care.
7.
They don't care.
Yeah.
They don't
Nah.
give a shit.
You look at the
They
wave
don't give a
file.
shit.
Like this is
Well,
the
as soon
space
as I
where
see
you
the
put.
wave, I throw it in my DAW. I'll be like,
Yeah.
fuck.
Ain't no peaks.
Like this is
It's
the
like a
space for the
block.
wave file, and
It's
then
a
this is the
block.
wave file itself. It just like fits
Yeah.
all. I'm like, damn.
You
y'all
ever
it's
seen
just
that
a-
gif with the white dude where you start seeing all these calculations and shit like that? So anytime I do get that, I'll say, hey man, yo, it's a little bit loud. Can you do this, that, and the third? It'd be like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
do 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 do. I'll be like,
Yeah.
all right, man, I'll work with it.
No headroom.
I figure
That's
it
my
out.
headroom.
message. That's my message to beat makers. Like if I don't say anything today, bro, y'all stop maxing y'all beats out at 0 dB. Like that's great for streaming. Like if you want to stream it on BeatStars or
Right.
whatever. But if you send it to a rapper, give them at least 4 decibels of headroom before 0. Give at least minimum. It's great.
At
6,
least
7.
I say 6.
Yeah,
6 is
6,
good
7.
for me. Yeah.
Cause you can always make things loud, but you can't turn shit down if it's already clipping though. You know.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Preach.
That's my-
man.
That's my. That's my.
I'll give
word.
one out, or whatever. So it's God Particle. I don't know if y'all rock with Jason Joshua and shit like that. So it's a mixing thing. So after you do whatever you do in your vocal chain and your buses and all that stuff, he has like a fucking pretty much like the shit sounds phenomenal. Ever since I started using it, I've been mixing my own shit and it's been getting progressively better. Since I do it. So he has like different target marks to hit to where you want your mids, where you want your highs, your lows and shit like that. And I mean, it's for people that are established mixers, right down to people who are, need a reference visually to kind of confirm what they're hearing in their ears. And I know you're supposed to use your ears. I get it. I got all the
So
stuff.
it's a mastering
calibrated.
plugin, right?
It's a mixing.
It's a mixing
Mixing
Mixing?
plugin. Yeah.
Mhm.
So it'll
Huh.
get your master where it needs to be a lot more
Interesting.
precise if you utilize it right.
Yeah, I think you're supposed to put it on your master bus during
Your
the
master
mixing
bus,
process.
right? Yeah,
During the
your
mixing
master bus,
process.
and it's worked out so far. I did the whole my whole last EP with that mixing plugin, and you know I dialed it in just about right for 75% of it. The other song went to CJ.
So let me
The
ask.
only thing I don't like about
this. So when you're mixing,
what's that?
That's like I said. The only thing I don't like about God Particle is I can't see what's going on behind it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So yeah, but you so that's the thing. Like you gotta like view the tutorial, and they are telling you what's happening behind the scenes, and then you'll be like, oh, okay, I get it. But if you are a visual person is to want to see what it's doing EQ wise and what it's moving around, then that's not probably the
so you guys mix. Hold on. So do you also mix each individual track? So you mix each individual track, then you mix on the master bus again? Is that what I'm understanding?
No.
Well,
so I'm
no. Go ahead. Go ahead,
no,
bro.
So yeah, what I'm doing is I'm just using my vocal chain. I'm sending it to the bus, and then on the master chain in Logic, I just got like maybe 2 or 3 plugins on there, and the Jason Joshua one is one of them. Or whatever, so it's just kind of my overall output of what I'm getting, and I'm just kind of looking at it, and I know where my highs, my lows, and my mids need to be, just to be hitting right. So when I do send it to mastering, I use eMastered right now. I'm probably gonna buy Ozone, and I pretty much fine tune that shit to my liking to where I get it just right. But again, that's another plugin I can't see. I use with my ears on what I think sounds good in the car, what I think sounds good in the studio. But yeah, I definitely got to use that Ozone, because I do have a free download from buying something recently as a result. So I got to check that out.
You got it from the desk?
Huh?
You got it from the desk? Or from something else? From hardware or from the desk?
I think it was from... Shit, I don't know what it was from. It was something I bought. I think it was that beat that the drummer plugin I was telling y'all about.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So when I got that, then it gave me a free mastering Ozone shit. So
Ozone is great in mastering, but the thing is, eMastered might have you spoiled going into Ozone. You know what I'm saying? Like the thing with Ozone is
I gotta put in work.
Well, you don't have to put in work. You're gonna have to.
Come on, man. He's like, do not want.
Oh, all right. Do not download. Who wants the code? Anybody want the code? I'm giving away a free code.
It's
why I draw the line, he says.
It's like interactive. It's like interactive mastering. I would say Ozone is more interactive master. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna have to tweak a few things, So but it's not. You're not doing all of the work.
So Ozone will get you like it's an AI, right? So it'll hear your sound, then it'll get you to what it thinks is like the threshold of like modern music on radio, right? Then you take it and you mess with that. Like I never keep it there because I like to hear things a certain way, and I love it because you could focus on each frequency, man. It's a beautiful thing. It's one of my favorite purchases, man. So download it and play with it, bro. It's really nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna rock with it because like the fucked up part about eMastered is I think they lock you in for up to 6 months to a year or some shit like that if you do decide to sign up for it. So you gotta like really put out music regularly for it to be something that you utilize or whatever the case may be. So I'm coming up on that end of the year, so I am looking for something to.
Hey yo, just pay me for 6 months. I'll do your shit.
$12.99 a month, man. $12.99.
Yo, I'm gonna say this about Ozone, and this ain't no plug for Ozone because like you said, they're not paying me. But the thing with Ozone is that what I like about it is you can use their whole mastering suite or mixing suite, what you want to call it, because it comes with like I would say like maybe 20 to 30 plugins maybe in Ozone, and in the mastering suite?
I think it's like
I'm gonna check it
15.
out. I think,
But yeah,
15?
maybe
Maybe it's showing
maybe like
doubles.
15 to
I think
20.
you know what? It's showing doubles because I have Ozone 9 and
Yeah.
10, so some of them doubled a little bit.
Okay.
But the thing is with Ozone is that sometimes I'll use their EQ, I'll use their like imager, but then I'll throw my maybe a soft tube plugin too. So you can use their whole mastering suite, or you can use it on the individual basis. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's what
I use.
you know,
I use individual plugins on my vocal chain.
Oh, I got Ozone 9. That's what they gave me for free.
Oh, Ozone 9
Gotcha.
is dope. Ozone 9 is dope. I still use Ozone 9 more than Ozone 10, honestly.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'll check it out. I'll
Yeah.
let y'all know. See if that'll be a good
Interactive.
replacement. Interactive.
They have great presets though. They have great presets.
Yeah, they do.
Sure, they sound
They have
amazing.
really great starting
Sure
points.
they
Really
sound
great
amazing.
starting point. You might have to turn a few knobs, Cash, but you know, it's worth it, man.
It's
Kash is pro AI. He's gonna help send this world to a falling
Cash want a Jarvis.
fire.
Hey,
Cash want a Jarvis. Hey,
Fireball
Jarvis, make a fire beat.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
look, man. Look, man. I'm trying to get to it, man. Make sure you don't use any samples, man. That's it.
Don't be talking
man.
about E-master in a world full of audio engineers, bro. Like
I
that's the
mean,
bad.
you know, look, man. I'm just trying to get my music out. I took a long break, man. I have a sense of urgency. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's address that. Yeah, so what's up with that,
Slow
man?
down,
why you
Cash,
feel like
slow down.
why you feel like you got to just put out? What's up with that?
Man, I don't know. I still feel like I got shit to say. And then once I pull, I guess you pull the Band-Aid off, it was like full steam ahead. I'm like, I didn't like the way that sounded. But I put it out. It was cool. And I put out another one. I'm like, I can see I'm getting better or back to my old self. So I'm eager to best my last output. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Got you.
And that's kind of really what's driving me. So it's not like I'm not chasing nothing. I'm very, Spotify listeners, monthly listeners are really humble you. It let you know where you're at.
Bruh.
And
Yeah.
19 monthly
Spotify be like,
listeners.
oh, we can't give you any statistics because you haven't broke 1,000 plays yet. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right, buddy. Cool.
Thanks, Spotify.
I'm first week shorty, man. I'll push it out. I tug on people's heartstrings. The first 2 weeks is out. I make a decent amount, probably a fraction of what I put into it, but I don't know what other way to do it less. Like, I don't know how to not put a good product out. You know what I'm saying? At the very least,
right.
when somebody discovers it, it won't be and like y'all music that y'all put out, you know what I'm saying? It won't be low budget shit. It'll be quality and you can stand on it, and that's kind of where I'm at with it. So but yeah, I'm just in a rush to get done with shit because I don't have a lot of time. You know what I'm saying? I got kids. I ain't dying to no shit. But,
I'm about to say, I'm like, damn, you got something to tell us? Like, what's going on?
No, I just mean like,
let us know on the podcast.
When I'm in the studio, I'm locked in. Like these raps that I had in my head, I got a studio, but it feels like I'm going to a studio.
Yeah.
If that makes sense because of my lifestyle and having little kids in the house that require my attention. So when I'm in here, I better bust out these 2 songs and they got to happen like this. That beat that I'm making, I can't tinker with that shit for days on end. It has to happen.
That's
right
interesting, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I'll make a whole song and delete it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not shit. I don't delete shit.
Yeah. I'm like the opposite of you. Like, like I got no kids, you know what I'm saying? Nobody's like, there's no like, I can do it when I want, whenever I feel like it, right? But it's like, if it's not exactly what I want, if I wake up in the morning and I play it and I'm like, this is not exactly how I want it to sound, I just delete it. I delete the verse, I delete it. I'm done with it. I never, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like that with songs. Sometimes I'll, if the second, third verse don't come for some reason or another, that means it ain't meant to be. I'm moving on to the next song, and maybe that verse will fit on something else. So I'm not like I don't stay stuck on the same joint. I don't force it at all. But that's why I'm always in search of, you know, what's all right. I got a little beat pack here. Somebody sent me some shit. Let me see what could work here. If not, I'm moving on. I'm always moving on. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's it, man. So I'm always in a rush to do shit because I don't have a lot of time to do shit.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So,
Gotcha. That makes sense.
yeah, man. But
I feel like they're gonna dig my shit up in like 1,000 years. You know what I mean? And that's finally when that's when I'm gonna blow for real.
Like King Tut with all his goddamn
Mm,
MP3, his MacBook,
and they finally gonna hear my genius.
crazy.
The world will finally recognize.
Crazy.
Man.
Crazy fellas, man. Yo, we've been on for a while, man. Y'all got anything else y'all want to bring up, man? Before we cut this one short. I know I kept y'all boys for a little bit this evening.
Oh, I'm good, man. I guess we should cut it, but we could talk. We could talk for days about this shit. So we should probably put a time.
Weeks. I think we got. I think we got. It's a good pilot episode. The people will let us know if they rock with it.
Yeah.
Indeed.
I ain't got nothing,
good, man.
I ain't got nothing. That's my Mississippi coming. I ain't got nothing. I ain't got nothing else. Man, I ain't got nothing else.
All right, y'all. So yeah, man, y'all let us know. Give us some feedback, man. I don't know what I'm gonna title this quite yet. I think producer corner is that's not it right now for me, but that's what we call it for now.
Something.
You know,
right.
We'll coin a term.
Death of AI. No, I'm just playing. No.
The Beat Farm. Beat Farms Anonymous.
Yeah, we'll come up with some names and stuff like that. Incorporate some blood, but this will kind of be something that we do. You know, if we invite somebody else that's dope, that's a producer, then that's cool. But this is kind of be something that we do just every 2 weeks. I think we're gonna start small and keep it there. It's something that's manageable for us. So y'all check it out. Let us know if y'all like this, man, and we'll come back and do some more. So we'll holler at y'all.
All right, y'all. Peace.